Hi again, fellow unlicensed thinkers. Today I want to talk about how a lot of times, just many of us are addicted to this really low-grade, dark alley dopamine. And just like drugs that you would buy in a dark alley from some shady character, your dopamine can also be cut with some really weird stuff like baby laxatives or pork rinds or whatever. And so we go through trying to get this fix of dopamine, and we do kind things for people, and we want that little more, that next fix, that next hit, but we keep going back because we're getting the low grade stuff. We're not getting the high quality, like pharmaceutical grade dopamine. That's the stuff we really want. We want the good shit. And what we end up doing a lot of times is, well, everyone knows the old adage of if you want to feed a man for a day, you give him a fish. But if you want to feed a man for a lifetime, you teach him to fish. Well, like giving the person a fish, that is that low-grade, dark alley dopamine. That's that low-grade drug. That good drug, that one that everybody really wants, the one that everyone's seeking out, that is the holy grail, is teaching that man to fish. Because in 20 years, you'll remember that you turned somebody's life around by teaching them to fish. And they'll remember you. And there's a certain amount of ongoing pride and dopamine release that you get from that. That's the good, long-lasting drug that we're all looking for. But we give up that good drug in trade for that cheap, dark alley dopamine. And when we realize that a lot of times helping people is doing the exact opposite of helping them. It is a lot of times reinforcing their belief that they need help, that they are victims, that they can't do something for themselves. And we do that in order to make ourselves feel good. And this making ourselves feel good at their expense is exactly how our dopamine is cut. That is the baby laxative that is thrown into our dopamine, is that helping someone or that helping ourselves feel good, but at their expense. So we're not going to remember these little times of giving a person a fish. We're going to remember that time when we taught someone to fish. And so what gets really bad is that the more I can keep someone or some people or whoever it might be in a victim mentality, the more opportunities I have to feel like a hero. So in a lot of ways, I have a subconscious bias towards keeping people in their victimhood, because the more victims there are, the more opportunities I have to be a hero, to pass out those fish. Here, you have a fish, you have a fish, everybody have a fish, so that I can keep getting those little hits of that low-grade dopamine. And it's just like, it's like sitting there drinking MD 2020 and thinking you're living like a king right next to a champagne party where everybody's drinking good stuff and barely going to feel their hangover in the morning. So my recommendation on this obviously is go for the bigger things. But what does that really mean? So the best I can do, for an example, because different things come up, different situations, things are have their own finer points all the time. But let's try to give it look at it from a bigger lens, bigger picture. Now, let's say I'm in a store and the person in line in the store in front of me is having a hard time. They're having some kind of miscommunication problem with the staff that works there. And in their mind, they're probably getting bullied, getting disrespected. Now, if I step in and handle the situation for them and tell the staff off and say, hey, you can't treat them like that, I haven't done any real favors. The only thing I've done is made myself feel like a hero. But what have I done to that person who was having a hard time? Have I helped them? No, not really. It seems like I did. My ego might want to tell me I did that. That little hit of that low-grade dopamine might want to tell me that I helped them out. But I didn't really help them out. What I did is I reinforced that they don't have to help themselves. I reinforce that they can't help themselves. I reinforce that they are a victim, that they are in need of someone's help. And I did all of that just so that I could get my little hit of dopamine, just so I could get my little fix. They learn more by me doing nothing and not interfering, because now they're going to go home from however that interaction ends, and let's say they didn't get their way. It didn't work out in their favor. Well, now they have this consequence. And this consequence is going to be a bigger teacher to them than me stepping in and doing something for them. Now, if the person turns to me and says, "Can you help?" Well, okay, so here's another opportunity. I can step in like the mighty hero and I can say, "Yes, I will save you." Or I can say, "You could handle this situation this way." And I can give them some kind of advice that they can take with them to handle this situation and feel more empowered as they go about their day. What do I get from that? Same as if I didn't help them, really. I get, well, not helping them, you get some amount of dopamine from that. But if I teach that person how to handle their situation better, just like teaching the man to fish, then I get this long-lasting dopamine, because I know that I didn't just help them in that situation. I helped them become a stronger, more empowered person. And they can now solve their own problems. And they have proven to themselves that they can solve their own problem. And so now I get a hit of the good stuff, the stuff that's not cut with those weird baby laxatives of me trying to be a hero. Now I get the really good stuff. I helped someone in their life. I didn't help someone in a situation. I helped someone in their life. Now, of course, I'm going to throw in the caveat. If I see someone being physically attacked, I'm not going to just stand there and go, well, I suppose if you want help, you'll ask me. No, I think I would probably step in. So just for anyone out there who might be thinking that, no, there are certain times when it's appropriate to step in. But generally, we want people to be as empowered as possible. And that, at the end of the day, is what feels really good. And what makes me feel like I am at that level where I'm getting those pharmaceutical grade hits of dopamine, as opposed to those little tiny fixes that I just need more of and more of and more of. Those big pharmaceutical grade ones, they actually stick with me for a long time, for years, for a lifetime. They make me feel better. The knowing that I've helped someone else improve their life, truly improve their life. I am reminded of that all the time. Maybe I see that person in 20 years. Maybe I see someone who reminds me of that person. And I know that I have helped someone with their life, and I get this big hit over and over and over again. And so absolutely be greedy about it, but be smart and greedy about it. So get the hit of the good stuff, not the cheap stuff, and let me know what you think down in the comments. Be sure to hit like and share the video. Have a great day.